Eminence. Go throw them knees up in the air.
9, 8, 7. We have a go for main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. Rushing like a bullet into the end zone. Defense, hold up, no scoring in the red zone. Throwing up pick 6, I feel like I'm Josh Rowe. Throwing downs over the shoulder, think I'm Jack Winmo. I need me back to back, trying to be like Vulture. Cause a storm, cause I'm mighty, it's in the culture. Esports TV, YouTube, Twitch, SFL Live, tuning you don't wanna miss. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack up. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack them. Next level like my entertainment. NXT on a stream, 8 p.m. on a beat. Catch me on a cam like I'm SFL commish. Yeah, you only got one chance, you can never miss. For the glory, revolution, feel my fury. Cause I'm a legend out in Canton, and I'm playing with dragons. I'm the king of this legion. SFL action, tuning this season. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack. I've been waiting all week for some SFL action on a big screen. I feel like I'm Ashley Jackson. Quarterback sneak, 4th and 3, man, what's happening? Touchdown, championships trying to stack.
SFL Nation, and welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And tonight we have a special show. This is just going to be a nice interview show with a good group of guys here, good group of rookies that have joined for season 20 with us. And I'm so glad to have them on. Basically, we're going to discuss post-draft. So some of these individuals, I'm sure, were drafted to a team. Some of them may not have been. Either way, we're going to find out right here, right now. And then their thoughts and their opinions and their feelings on how everything happened. So who do I have in the box with me? We're going to start off with Mr. John Fullerton. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. So in the spirit of my show, I ask a few questions and everybody gets this. So what is your hometown, your age, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team?
Hometown, I actually live in Arizona. I live in a small town called Casa Grande, Arizona.
Hey, I know exactly where you are.
I'm 29 years old. I hit the big 30 in May. So to me, it's big, you know.
Be prepared, man. Stuff gonna start breaking down on you. Just be prepared.
Honestly, I guess just talk a little bit about myself. I'm a father. I also work in a prison and been doing that for the past 5 years. And my favorite NFL team is actually the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I'm actually from Pennsylvania, but I like Arizona, so I want to stay out here.
Hey, man, that's good. Oh, work out of prison, huh?
Yeah.
Tell me, do you get kind of nervous every time you go to work, or you just be like, nah, this is just work, you know? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, the first year of doing it, it was you know, it's kind of like you get those the hair standing back on your neck, and you really feel that. But as time goes on, it starts being a little bit easier, if that makes any sense. Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but to me, it comes with experience. Mm-hmm. So you start learning. You start learning different things, and it becomes easier. You still have those hairs back there, but they're not fully raised up. They're about just a little bit.
A little bit.
But at the end of the day, you know, I'm I do enjoy my job. I do appreciate it. You definitely learn a lot in an environment like that. You really do. So,
awesome, man.
Mhm.
Awesome. Good stuff. Max Van Lynch, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about you? You good?
Doing fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on the show. So,
Thanks
same
for having
questions
me.
apply. You're very welcome. Same questions apply. So, give us age, hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team, please.
All right. Well, I'm 22 years old,
Okay.
and my hometown is Veendam over in the Netherlands.
Oh,
So it's currently 1 a.m. I stayed up late. Luckily I'm a night owl, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, that might be an interesting fact.
It is, definitely.
My favorite NFL team. I got past this from my dad. He's a New York Giants fan, so I kind of automatically root for them as well. You know.
I can kind of dig that. As long as you didn't say the Patriots or Green Bay, we might have a problem. Just saying.
Patriots are too big. I don't want to root for don't want to be a glory hunter. So.
Well, okay. Good to know. Netherlands, huh? I bet that is so beautiful. I've seen pictures and everything. Looks so beautiful.
I mean, yeah, I think it's all right. When you live here your entire life, you don't really appreciate the beauty of it anymore. But I see pictures now and then that make me appreciate it.
Awesome. I understand that. It's good stuff. Next up, I have Mr. J. Balmer. Now, Jay has been on the show before, but of course, I'm so glad to have him back. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Just happy to have all of you here and then had a fantastic holiday. So, it was really good. But for those that missed the show that you and I had, tell me, what's your age, your hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team?
Well, yeah, I would love to say this again. I am 23. I live in Danville, Virginia. Work at a toothpaste factory, making boxes and all that stuff. And favorite team is the Carolina Panthers.
Gotcha. So, I thought of you the other day when I went and bought some toothpaste, and I was like,
"Oh,
I wonder, did Jay have anything to do with this?" I love it, man. I work
recycle them tubes. I said, recycle them tubes.
Hey, you know what? And I remember you saying it on the first show, and since you said that, I have been. And it even says so on the tube too. So why wouldn't you? Okay, but all right. My other brother, Nano Matthews, how are you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Fantastic. So, what's your age? Your hometown, interesting fact about yourself, and your favorite NFL team.
So I'm 14. I live in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm one of the very few Vanderbilt fans in the world.
Okay.
There's only like 1,000 of them. And NFL team, probably the Titans, just because I'm from Tennessee.
Okay. Now, you said there was only 1,000 in the world. Why do you think that is?
At Vanderbilt basketball games, there's usually only like 100 people who are actual Vandy fans. So unless you go to Vanderbilt, you're probably not a Vanderbilt fan.
Got it. Good stuff. And lastly, another individual that have been on the show before, Mr. J.W Hartshorn. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to see you again.
You as well.
So for those that did miss our show, of course, would you answer those questions for me?
Well, I'm J.W Hartshorn, though most people just call me Josh. And I'm 27. I am from Vancouver, Washington, just north of Portland, Oregon, about 10 or 15 minutes drive. Fun fact about me, new one. So funny enough, I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and I absolutely hate rain. We're having a really big storm here right now, and I am not a fan.
I know.
And I've had conversations with my friends like, you should come down to Vegas, come down to Arizona. I'm like, if it wasn't for everything trying to kill me, I would.
Yeah.
But favorite team, I mean, Pacific Northwest, born and raised, so gotta go with the Seahawks.
Okay. So far, I'm just gonna tell you it like this: I like all y'all. Y'all none of y'all named a team that I didn't like, so we good just from that standpoint. And JW, please be careful out there. I have seen footage from the storms and how people are trying to deal with it, living in states that were not prepared for this. So.
Oh yeah, no. Over here, it's not too bad. We just had icy rain, then that turned into about an inch of snow, then ice, then more ice, then it snowed, and now it's all melting. So, well, I mean, it better be since it's like almost 50 degrees and we're getting like 3 inches of rain today.
Yeah, man. Good luck to you. I'll send some sunshine your way from Arizona, okay?
Oh, you'd be the best.
Dope. All right, so gentlemen, let's get into the good stuff. So SFL, the SFLm 6th season is now behind us. I'm thinking everyone on this panel has actually been on an SFLm team, correct? All right, cool. So I would love for you guys to answer this question. What was your experience like joining the SFLm, and how do you feel now that you have completed an entire season? So let's start off with JW first.
All right. Yeah, so this was my first season in the SFLm, and I was drafted. So I'm in all fairness, I would love to see a chance for me to go in as a two-way player, but I don't think that's going to really happen with Houston. I fill kind of a role that will get a lot of playtime, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed all the friendships I've made, the jokes, the laughs, the staying up late, talking with like Max and Brad, just like talking about the last games we had. It was a lot of fun. It felt like, we may have all been on different teams, but we all had each other's backs. We all cheered each other on. If we saw any of our players go down with an injury, we were actually sad about it. It wasn't just like oh yeah, we can take this to our advantage. So it was a lot of fun. I loved playing in Annapolis, even though we went 2-6. I mean, but we had a lot of rookies, so it's to be expected. Yeah, It was a lot of fun.
Indeed. And your ultimate goal actually came to fruition, which is being drafted. So you got a chance to experience all of that. And even though your team didn't do as well as people may have thought that they would, you had fun, and you came out a winner. You came out a winner. At least you did win a couple games. I could see if it was 0-8. Sorry, so good things, man. Nano, what about you?
I had a great time during my first ever season at SFLm. There's a lot of really cool people in the SFL. Everyone on Tacoma was really nice, really cool. Locker room was a great place. I've became friends with a couple of the people. The games, I really like watching them. The chats are really fun to be in. And we went 3-5 and missed the playoffs. So not how I thought the season was going to go, but at least we went last.
Yeah.
I got drafted by Queen City. I was one of the last picks in the draft, but at least I got drafted.
Hey.
So I'm very grateful for that.
Indeed. So, Jay, tell us about your experience.
All right, so SFLm was really good for me. I had to be active most of the time. Being in with Madison, making it to the championship was really good. Had to do a lot of work in that championship as well. But shoot, even though we lost, but I'm still okay with it. At least we went to the championship. Being drafted to DC was actually kind of surprising to me because I thought I was going to get drafted in the first round. Shoot, Eddie Gage even thought I was going to get drafted in the first round. But you know, it's all good for me right now. So,
man, and that's why I always say, you know, sometimes things don't work out the way you originally planned them to. But in the end, yeah, I'm glad that you were able to find a home after all of that, you know. And I know Eddie was like, "Hey, draft Jay!" Like every time I saw him, I was like, "Draft Jay!" So I'm glad that happened for you. Even though it's not with us, you're still with a good team. So
yeah.
Max?
Yeah, it was great. I was on Tacoma as well with Nano, and yeah, we went 3-5. But I think we lost a couple of games by like one play, so it was kind of a bittersweet season, I'd say. There were a couple games we lost like on the last play, last field goal or something. I can't remember which one, but you know, if like 2-3 of those had gone differently, we would have made a push for the playoffs. So that was, you know, a bit of a shame, but I had a great time. You know, the locker room was great. SFLm chat was awesome. And like JW said, we were on the night shift most of the time because of time zones, me and Brett, and then whoever was left awake pretty much. And then it was night shift for y'all, and it was like 11 a.m. over here. And I'd just be going about my day, which I always enjoyed seeing. Night shift, who's up? And then like, I'm on my third cup of coffee. I mean, you know, not much of a night anymore. But yeah, and getting drafted by Indy, that was, you know, I was starting to doubt as more and more of the first round progressed, because a lot of people have me down as like a first round pick. And I was like, I mean, sure. I mean, I'd take anything. I didn't come into this with a lot of expectations, you know, just have a good time. And, you know, then to get drafted by a team in the first round, that was like pretty cool. Yeah. Enjoyed that a lot.
Awesome, man. It's good stuff. Good stuff. And John.
My experience here honestly it was pretty good. I will say that. I joined in. It was a couple weeks before the season actually officially started. I didn't know what I was doing at all. I didn't really know what to expect. I just didn't know anything really. And being picked up by the Rattlesnakes and, you know, having the season that we did, you know, we did come in last. And I'm not gonna lie, that sucked, you know, but it was still nice to have teammates in the locker room like TJ Harper. You know, he's obviously one of the, you know, you definitely hear him everywhere in this league. So I want to give props out to him. He's definitely a good teammate. But you know, at the end of the day too, was a lot of the games that we had. It was a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of good games, even though we lost. I mean, it was crazy just to see us kind of come back in some, and other ones kind of lose by some bad points. But overall, my experience overall was good. It was really good, honestly. Progressed every week, things like that. Just talking, getting to know everybody throughout the league and things like that was pretty awesome. And then being actually picked up by right there, Fort Worth. That was a big surprise to me. I did not expect that at all. I'm just gonna be honest about it. I was thinking I was gonna get picked up by one certain team, and that didn't happen. You know, I guess that's the beauty and the maybe the ugliness about the draft is, you know, you see what people are putting out. You know, you hear a lot of times your name is going to go to a certain team, and then when you're watching it, you see, oh, that's not me. You're like, okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna get picked now. But you know, honestly, even the draft, you know, I did enjoy it. And when Fort Worth messaged me and said, "Hey, do you want to be a Toro now?" I said, "Yeah." They pick me up. I said, that's fine with me, because again, just like you hear everywhere else, you know, other teams didn't pick me. That's cool. You know, I'll show them. But overall, the experience has been great in my opinion.
I'm glad to hear that, gentlemen. And I totally understand when you say that you may have been picked on mock drafts to go to another team, and then you actually kind of start believing it as if that is the truth. When, to be honest, we don't know.
Exactly.
When we make these calls, when we're trying to say who we're going to win, we really don't know. This is just a guess.
You don't know.
Some people like to do it for the talking points or trying to get people kind of riled up. But the only people that know what they're going to do are the GMs and the owners.
Exactly.
And maybe the owners. So it's good to hear that all of you were able to get drafted and have that experience, because I don't know if any of you actually got drafted in real life to a NFL team or any other team like that, but that was a one of a kind experience for me. I even thought I was going to a team. I thought I was going to Atlanta, and I guess in other circumstances I would have, but Tulsa offered me a position that I couldn't pass up, so sometimes it depends on how your journey starts. You may not even be with the team that your journey particularly starts on. However, it is about the fun that you have all in the meantime, And I wonder, what are you all looking forward to the most joining your teams? I know you've all joined in the locker room, and I'm sure they've all welcomed you with open arms and things like that. But what are some expectations that you have for your particular locker room that will help you enjoy your time even more here? And with that, I'm going to start with Nano.
For Queen City, all I want is just people to be involved in the team success. Even if we go win 3 games, it seems like no one had any expectations for us. So even if we just win 3 games, I'm still happy. As long as we don't lose every game and people are involved and they make it a fun place to be, I'll be very happy with the season.
Okay, Nano, gotcha. Jay?
Yes, what Nano said. Everybody getting involved, making it a fun season. I mean, it's already a fun season for right now. That's all these stuff they've been doing. But right now, just enjoying the locker room, enjoying the people, getting to know everybody in the locker room, and, getting along with the coaches and having fun.
All right. Max?
Yeah, what I look forward to the most when waiting to join the locker room was just getting to know everyone, just chatting and what's everyone like, what are they doing, where are they, what are their plans for this season, just basic chatting. And that's been true for a lot of what's been going on the last week as well. It's come true so far, and I think it will be going even better when the season starts. Getting to watch some games together should be fun, I think.
Indeed. John?
Honestly, kind of back to what Nano was saying, I do expect to win. I mean, honestly, we can all say that we expect to go out there, we expect to win. But honestly, I do want to see the same chemistry that I had with the Linge and Rattlesnakes, just in that locker room. Just how everybody's getting together. But also, I want to put my name out there, even though I know that I'm in the position I am. Obviously, just like how it says right there, easy money. I love to have that charisma. I like to have that spark about this game. I like to be, that one person that maybe people may not know about. And, that's one thing I definitely look forward to. But overall is the interaction. I do look forward to that within the season.
Fantastic. And JW?
For me, I mean, it's similar to what Nano said. I mean, I could honestly say, we could go 0-12 or 12-0 either way. I just want us all to have fun, make some good memories. I mean, I want to win. I want to be good. I want to make sure that, if I can come in and help out the team, move forward, that's awesome. But ultimately, I mean, the locker room, I just want to be able to just talk with people, have some fun, we hype each other up before the games and just look back at, all the time we spend here. It's just, these were good memories. These were good things that we got to do together.
And you will cherish those. You from your beginnings with your respective SFLm teams to the connections that you make on your current teams. Like, if you decide, like, after the end of this season that, hey, I have life to deal with, I have something, you will always remember those moments. And some people have left and came back because of those moments, that you have. So it's a good place to be. It really is. I want to know, what are your thoughts about the draft itself? Because, you guys had 8 games to showcase your talents. Then some of you more, and I only had 1. And I was a wide receiver at that point. So either I'm gonna catch a ball, run it in, and show what I can really do, or that's it, But when it came to the draft, it was something that I loved because I always saw it on television. I always saw the NFL stars and the NBA stars get drafted. And they look so happy with walking up there, getting their jerseys or getting their hats and everything like that. And I was like, I would love to have that experience, but I'm not getting ready to go out here and play for the Atlanta Falcons or for the Arizona Cardinals or for the Chicago Bears. I'm not getting ready to take these hits for real. But when we go and when we suit up on the field here, it's totally different. So I want to know, gentlemen, what were the thoughts that were going through your head as the draft started, as it, progressed? And I want Jay to start off with this.
Well, for me, I was really nervous to, seeing where I was going to get drafted, because as the picks keep going down and down and down, and everybody else getting drafted, I'm like, when is it going to be my turn to get drafted? Because I'm just waiting to hear that phone call and see Cam announcing my name as well. But I'm pretty glad it's from DC, and everything is good for me right now.
Love it. Max?
Yeah, it was an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Just knowing the teams that, there are teams that have got your name on maybe like a draft board that they want, and and then those particular teams come up and you think like, well, who are they going to pick? And then the suspense just killing you. And then, from going to not hearing your name to suddenly, hearing it being said out loud, that is just the moment of elation is just unprecedented. I felt the relief. Well, relief might not be a good word, just happiness. I'm going to be in SFL. That realization came, and I was just so happy, and I loved it, and it made the whole draft worth watching, even though it was like maybe 3-4 a.m. at that point, and I had a concert to play at 10 a.m. So but it was all worth it. It was all worth it for sure. Yeah.
All right, man. Nana, what about you?
During the draft, I was really excited for it because I was honestly expecting to be like an early 2nd round pick. During the draft, once I got like the 45th pick, I was getting less and less excited and just really nervous because most of the teams who had those really late picks, like Jacksonville and Queen City, I'd said one thing to Jacksonville and they hadn't responded. I hadn't reached out to Queen City, so I wasn't expecting to get drafted. But then Creech actually messaged me and told me to reach out to Queen City and Jacksonville. So I did, and at around the 51st pick, I started talking to one of the Queen City head coaches, and they drafted me with the 55th pick, the second to last pick in the draft. I was extremely excited. I slid and ran into a couch. Yeah.
No. Hey, well, don't do nothing too crazy because we need you on the field, man.
Yeah.
But good. I'm glad, man. I'm glad that you were able to have that experience too. JW.
For me, I had been doing all the pre-draft stuff with the mocks and everything. I learned from a lot of GMs that kind of just spoken to just in passing that teams usually look for personality, and I believe the common sentiment was you can fix a bad build, you can't fix a bad personality kind of thing. So I was just like, you know what? I've seen everyone kind of be good people and chill out and have fun. So it's like, you know, I was excited to see everyone else get drafted. I'd only been in contact with 2 teams really that I was like super like in-depth conversation. And one of them, like, I'll admit, when I got the message around, like pick 12 that Houston was picking me, and Sims got me into a voice call, I almost broke down crying. I was just like, I never expected to be, you know, getting a chance to do this. I mean, if you had told me back in July that, you know, I'd be in a community where, you know, everyone's been really awesome and I get to, you know, experience this, I'd have thought you were lying. So yeah, it was a really fun experience.
Good deal. John.
I would say a little bit before the draft, you know, I put out a little highlight reel. Definitely got some good feedback on it. It was something I took pride in it, make sure it was pretty good. I actually ended up helping another SFL player make his highlight tip as well. And then also the pre-draft interviews. You know, I had about 3-4 teams, you know, talking to me. I had one that things felt really good. And so obviously on draft day, the draft was actually pretty close to a concert that I was going to. So I was actually in this little Airbnb watching it. And I had told my girlfriend, I said, hey, look, I said, I'm about to get drafted. You know, here I am cocky. I'm like, hey, watch, I'm about to get drafted right now. And when I saw the team pass by and they picked somebody else, and I was like, okay. I was like, oh, so what do I do now? Like, you know, I don't really know who else. And then the other team I talked to, you know, they picked somebody else and so on and so on. And then towards the end of the first round, you know, that's when Fort Worth hit me up, and I'm like, okay, hello. I really did not expect that at all. You know, I thought maybe stuck around or whatever and things like that. And honestly, overall, like with that, I was very, very happy that they messaged me and said, hey, you know, would you like to be part of this team? I said, hell yeah. And even before my pick, there was other players that I was looking at. Like I said, TJ, honestly, even Jackson too, a quarterback too. It was a lot of other people I was looking at, and I thought they were going to get drafted. And again, like I said earlier in this, that's the beauty and the ugliness about it, is you just don't really know what's going to happen. You know, again, the mock drafts, they say this, and you think that's kind of how it's going to be, and it's not really like that. So it was just a roller coaster of emotions, really up and down. But just overall, I'm just excited that they did pick me up, and I think even next draft, there's going to be a good group of guys coming in too.
Indeed. Got a couple more questions for you, gentlemen. Do you plan to help your team out in any other capacity besides just being a player? So do you plan on doing some stats? Do you plan on getting involved with maybe the beat writing team, or just the various teams, things that we have to do in the league? I mean, you can write articles, you can maybe become like a head of someone's social media. Is that in your future with your team? And I'm going to start with you first, Max.
I mean, I'd love to. I just yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what I would do, because, you know, if I think of stats, I think of numbers, and if I think of numbers, my brain goes crazy. I'm definitely not good with numbers, so statistics would definitely not be something for me.
Well, the way we do stats is a little bit different. So we're just basically just watching a game, and you're just counting the yards between each, from where the ball started until it stops, and then you just doing the player. So it's not necessarily too much, but I understand. Yeah,
so something like that might not be the right fit for me, but, you know, maybe something on social media one day even could be something for me. I mean, I've been thinking about making some accounts for my player.
Okay.
But I gotta find the time, you know. Life is busy, studying and that. So
I definitely get it. Definitely understand. What about you, John?
I think for me, that's one thing I really do hate about the prison is, you know, when you go in there, you can't do too much. Like, I can't bring my phone in, things like that. Obviously watching the games through YouTube, you know, I don't do that at work job, but if anybody was watching this, you know. But honestly, I think behind the graphics, I wouldn't mind doing some graphic wise or social media. I think I kind of showed that in my highlight reel that I am able to edit things like that and kind of produce content. So I think that's one thing that I can kind of work on, because, you know, I can save it 1 minute and then pick it up the next minute too. You know, so I think that's one thing that I could definitely do, would be graphics or anything like they said, social media or anything like that.
All right, cool. What about you, Jay?
For me, I would probably try to be like offensive coordinator, because I mean, being a head coach is going to be like a little bit tough for me because of the 12-hour job, night shift that I have right now. But being an offensive coordinator and, you know, having the game as well would probably work for me, because I always like offense, always. And being a defensive player is actually kind of tough for me to do. But either way, I would like to help at any time, especially being a water boy. I know that.
Okay, gotcha. J.W.
I mean, for me, I love doing graphic stuff. I'm wanting to learn more of that. Honestly, main thing right now, I want to get into the stats and the scouting. I would love to get an understanding of that. In the future, I'd love to, you know, learn how to coach. I actually had been poking our defensive coordinator down in Annapolis, like, hey, if you need an assistant DC, so someone to just kind of learn from you, I'm here, I want to learn. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, not enough time.
Yeah, I get that.
But I mean, on top of that, plus I'm planning on working with the beat writing. I would love to do articles and stuff.
Yeah, you reached out to me on that, and I'm glad that you did too. So that's always good. I want to kind of revive that website, because it's been a while from what I gather. I believe maybe some mock drafts may have been posted on there recently, maybe, but it's been a while since we've updated it. We know it's some new content. Yeah. So it would be great to even, you know, just have writers that want to write one-off articles, maybe about their experience, just so that we can have that content for that website. That'd be dope. And Nano.
I really like maths. I'm probably going to try to do stats maybe next season.
Okay.
I'm going to try learn to do them this season. And I might try to learn how to be like an offensive coordinator, because even though I'm a defensive player, I have no idea how defensive plays work. Since I haven't actually played or really studied football, I just like watching it.
Okay.
So I'm probably just going to do stats, and I might do offensive coordinating in like 5-6 seasons.
Okay. And that's good. That's pretty good. You just give yourself room. Even if y'all told me that you really didn't want to do anything at this point, you just kind of want to enjoy your rookie season, you know, things like that. I totally get it, because you guys are paying your subscriptions. You're paying your money to have the experience that you want to have, you know. While it would be favorable and helpful to help out, you know, your team in various aspects, if you can't, you know, then it is what it is. We're just glad to have you here, you know. So one of the last questions I'm gonna have, I know guys, I said that was gonna be like this one, what I'm getting ready to say was gonna be the last one. I always do that to everybody. I'm sorry, because as I'm listening, I'm thinking. So who is responsible for your particular build? So I would like to know what position that you actually play, for everyone that's listening who don't know. what position that you actually play, maybe who inspired you to pick that particular position, and who's responsible for the progression. Was it you solely? Was it you and your coach working together? Or was your coach just telling you what to do and then you just implemented that? So we're going to start with you first, Nano.
I'm a cornerback. I picked the position just because I wanted to play running back, but when I joined, all the running back spots were filled, and cornerback was my favorite position other than running back. My build, since Ernest McCray was a coach for Tacoma, and he had like he was like top 10 in picks last year, and I really just want to get a lot of pick sixes, which I haven't got any yet, but I'll try to get one this season. I mostly just asked him what he thinks I should do, modeling my build after what he does. I'm still in touch with him. Like today, I texted him earlier, and yeah, mostly I just try to go by what cornerbacks get a lot of picks.
Okay. So that's just going to make you effective, in that backfield, which is very important. You definitely want that. You don't want the quarterback to target your area. You want them to be like, oh, no, this is Revis Island. You're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything in this general circle. So I get it. Max, what about you?
Yeah, well, I play O-line, and when I came into the league, I was still very much a football rookie. I watch the games, when they get broadcasted here, and I like watching them. But getting down into the nitty gritty of what the positions were, I was still a bit fuzzy. So I was reading up on the positions, and I thought, hey, O-line is like, there's no O-line in SFLm as of right now, so why not? So I just said, I'll go for it. And immediately I joined, and I get all these people. I'm like, oh, you're doing O-line? Which part? What are you going to do? Do this and this, because then you might be one of the top picks. And I felt like, well, okay. So that was a fun start to my SFL career. And then Doug Day reached out to me, and it was like, he sent me like a list of what I should progress as like a guideline. And he said that if you do this, you might be one of the top picks. And I was like, well, guess I'll join that. I'll do that. And I followed that mostly. No, I did something. I think I did some different things to what he said, because I want to have my own touch on the character, on my player. But yeah, and I got transferred from a tackle to a guard now for Indy. So I was a tackle for Tacoma, and I'm going to play a guard at Indy. That should be fun.
O-lineman will always have a special place in my heart. I mean, I consider Arizona having one of the best, if not the best O-linemen. But,
of course.
But that is a very important position. And I know that stats aren't being recorded on that because it's hard to do. But I think that the broadcasters are doing a lot better with giving you guys recognition for your accomplishments, for your pancakes, for providing those necessary blocks, so that your running back or your fullback has a lane, to do what they do, And so you guys will always hold a special place in my heart because of the hard work that you do and the protection that you provide, your quarterbacks. So
yeah, for stats wise, I kept like looking at how many sacks King Jackson, our quarterback, had. And for a long time he was one of the lowest sacked quarterbacks. So I consider that a win for our own line.
There you go. And you can't argue with that stat. Okay.
Yeah.
John, what about you?
So right now I actually play wide receiver. My build, it's funny because when I first joined, like I said, it was a couple weeks before the season started. I was actually a linebacker, I believe it was. Okay. And I just looked, and there was a wide receiver spot open, and I was like, I want that. So I was like, how do I go about that? And they said, you just do this. And So, they gave it to me, and that's when obviously they put me in Lincoln. And my build, I didn't really. At first, I was going to go more of a Tyreek Hill build. I wanted kind of somebody small and fast. But then I thought about it. I was like, I kind of want some size. And, my player is 6'4". And then the weight, about 190 at that time. Now it's about 200. But I do remember, I forgot who it was, but they did suggest little progressions for me. I followed it for the most part. I did my little touch on it and things like that. And obviously kind of hearing my name out there, a catch made by John Fullerton. And then, eventually I started putting the easy money on it. And even that was more crazy, hearing, easy money caught the ball. So again, it's that creativity I'm talking about. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Just to hear that being called in a game like that. And I love the position I'm in, and it's just something that's pretty awesome.
Indeed, man. I'm glad that you decided to make yourself a little bit heavier. Because they try to bump you all the time. I'm telling you.
Yep. So that's what forward said. They said get some weight on you. I said okay, I got you.
They did not lie.
Yep.
Trust me. Jay.
When I first joined the league, it was about on week 4. And wanted to play as a tight end. I figured out that all the tight end spots were filled up. So I'm like, what is close to that tight end position? So I choose fullback, and really underrated position in football right now. I mean, not that many teams is using them anyway. So I'm like, which player should I be close to in the NFL? And for me, as a Panthers fan, I made my play as Mike Tolbert. And to help with that, I did that with the head coach of Madison, Michael Percoco. Thank you for the help. I'm serious. If it wasn't for you, then I wouldn't know how to do my build. And being on that field was really good using my build as well. I mean, I know it's not that many rushing yards, but I did make some key blocks. I'm gonna say that.
Hey, and that's good. The thing is, I think everyone should have a fullback. I mean, people decide what they want to, regardless. Coaches want their team build to be a certain way, and I get it. But I think it's something special when you do have a fullback and a running back, because you never know what to prepare for. I mean, you can have a pretty good guess based on the build, but if people know that you're going to try to exploit one person, then they'll make those changes to try to make sure that that person is covered, And fullbacks are great blockers too, Make some holes, You got your O-line, and that's the second line of defense for our offense, if you say that. Like, hey, if he can't do it, I'm going to do it. And so, I think you're definitely going to be successful, because you're that, what is it? The wild card. You don't know if you're going to be used. And to be real, they don't know either. So if your coaches mess around and use you more, just because they're thinking that they're going after the star, it's that can work out really well in your favor in building your own stats. So JW.
Well, for me, I play cornerback. I mean, when I really think about it, I played in the secondary when I was growing up, particularly in high school. When I say growing up, I basically only played my sophomore year, but but I mean, being a Seahawks fan, Richard Sherman, Sean Springs, Marcus Trufant. I grew up seeing awesome play at the position. Now we have Tariq Woolen. It's you never really. It's one of those things where if you have a lockdown corner, it's definitely noticeable. And I always wanted to do something like that, just maybe just isolate half the field, be like, all right, try with the other guy. You're not coming here. For me, T-South helped out a lot with my build. Originally, first person who had gotten in contact with me about it was Doug Day, because at the time, it was a possibility I might have ended up in Seattle, and I was excited. So it was like, all right, he gave me some pointers, and I followed some of them. I was like, you know what, I kind of was like Max. I kind of wanted to have my own personal flourish on it, and that even went so far as later on in the season. I mostly wanted to be a person that, could lock down whoever I'm put against in coverage. Being 6'3" kind of helps too. Only wide receiver that kicked my butt this season was Fullerton, so I want to get him back next time we play. But it was a fun season, and I love it. I want to get better at every chance I get.
Fantastic, man. I'm glad that you guys have been having a fantastic experience so far. And I believe that can only get better for you, especially when you get into these hard-hitting major league games where, it's the same, but it's different. And I know that might sound weird, but once you have that season under your belt to go kind of like know what to expect, then you're better prepared for what's going to come, But I know it's late for Max, so I'm going to ask this one question that's very important. This can make and break relationships, even on your team, okay? What is the perfect pizza to you? I want you to name the crust. I want you to name the sauce, your toppings. I'm gonna give y'all a second to think about it, because this is very, very, very important. I've had so many different answers on this show. It is crazy, from the pineapple to the jalapeno peppers and some ham on it. Then I have, of course, just straight cheese. I'm a big fan of the Chicago. It depends on my mood. So I like the Chicago deep dish where you cut it and it looks like a layer cake or something because it's so many different ingredients and stuff, and it's heavy. All you need is one slice, and that's dinner, bro. Like, what if you eat two of those, you're going to sleep. I'm telling you. Or sometimes I'm in the mood for a nice New York style cut. So thin crust, foldable, easy to carry, just especially when you're trying to sneak into the movies and you don't want to pay all that money for the hot dogs. And popcorn and stuff. Last time I did, but to be fair, last time I did that, I was pregnant. I told them I was having cravings. They was like, all right, cool. So, but guys, what do you think? I'm gonna start off. Let's go with Nano. What's your perfect pizza?
So usually I get thin crust pizza.
Okay.
I don't like that much sauce, so white sauce, and then pepperoni and pineapple.
Okay, pepperoni and pineapple. That's a new one. Typically, it's always ham and pineapple, but I can see the spiciness of the pepperoni and the sweetness of the pineapple, the savoriness of the cheese. Okay.
I don't like ham on pizza. It tastes weird.
I feel you on that. All right, Jay. Perfect pizza.
Me, stuffed crust with some sauce on it, pepperoni, sausage, ham, and, bacon bits.
Okay, so whole meat lovers type deal, huh?
Yes.
All right, man. All right. Gotcha. The stuffed crust ain't bad either. I love that. Did you ever try the one with the stuff? It's cheese and pepperoni inside the crust?
No, I have not tried it yet.
Man, I'm telling you.
But I want to. I'm saying that.
Max, Netherlands style pizza. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So if I'm in a hurry, I'm gonna just grab a plain pepperoni. But absolute favorite is just the Italian style crust. A little bit thick, just like not maybe this big, and normal sauce, normal cheese, but topped with doner meat, like shawarma meat.
Okay.
And then garlic sauce drizzled on the top.
I'm a fan of garlic sauce.
Perfect.
Okay. I like that. JW.
Mine kind of throws people off, I've learned. Cheese stuffed crust, red sauce, mozzarella cheese, pepperoni, sausage, bacon, but add on some thinly sliced mushrooms and black olives. It's called the cowboy pizza, though I have bacon to it. Yeah. And that said, Nano, I understand the pineapple and pepperoni. I'm not the biggest fan of ham on pizza myself.
Awesome, man. Awesome. John.
I mean, you already said it from the get-go, that Chicago style. Oh my God. It's awesome. Really one slice that could really fill you up. I love it. I mean, you already know, I don't know if you know Rosati's, but like just get it from there. They have a lot of Chicago style. Yeah, they got the Chicago style pizza. I love that deep dish, just layered on layered on layer. As far as my go-to, pineapple, you can just throw that over there. But meat lovers, like Jay said, you gotta go. You can't, meat lovers that's the way to go. Pepperoni, sausage, whatever. I love me some meat lovers. Stuffed crust too. Yeah, and also white sauce too. White sauce is pretty good on pizza too. But I'm more of a meat lovers.
Look at Jay. Like, no.
Uh-huh. Hey, Jay's a fullback, so we gotta pack them pounds on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not me totally opening up DoorDash right now.
We big boys around here. We gotta eat,
Oh yeah.
Oh, indeed. And the crazy thing about the Chicago pizza, just in case if no one knew about it, is that they put their cheese on the bottom on the crust first, and then they layer all the toppings, and then they put the sauce on top. And look at that. Yes, it's true. And they put a little Parmesan
like a cake.
top.
Oh.
Yeah.
It sounds so good. I've never tried it before. I really want
awesome.
to. I'm so hungry right now.
True definition of a pizza pie. Because it's thick as a pie, but it's a pizza. It's awesome.
True definition.
But gentlemen, did you have any, before I let y'all go, do you have any questions for me or for each other while we're here?
I just want to give a shout out.
we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
But I was just curious if y'all had anything. If you don't, then that is cool with me. Everybody good?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So thank you, each of you, for being on the show. I really, really appreciate you spending time with me, whether you're across the world or whether you right in my backyard, basically. I want to just thank you for taking the time out to be with me, hanging out, and letting us get to know more about you. Your teams are definitely lucky to have you in their locker room. If I could just take all of you, I would, but I can't have you. I can't have you. I already been selected. But it's been fun to getting to know everybody in the league, especially the rookie class members, because you're new, you're bright-eyed, you're bushy-tailed, ready for anything, and I love that. And that kind of energy is infectious, and I hope that you guys go on to affect your team in a positive manner on the field and off the field. And if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, just come talk to me. I'm one of the sources here that you can definitely reach out to if you ever need anything. I invite all of you back on the show whenever you want to. If you just wanted to come on and just say hi, or if you want to come on and make a major announcement, for the league or anything, I'm here for you. But I cannot let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or that can be just a simple shout out. But right now, JW, the floor is yours.
All right. For shout outs, I want to shout out Houston, taking the chance on me. But also, I want to shout out, I've been hanging out a lot with Harper and his Discord. I've been really enjoying it, and all the love to the guys. I'm hoping to put together that little project we were talking about. But, yeah.
So when y'all put it together, y'all can make sure y'all come on here and explain everything about it. I would love to have you. Nano.
There are only two people. One, Tiberius Bovine. He's the entire reason I got drafted. And two, the only player that I actually know in real life, Yay Verity.
Yay,
we're brothers. So
Really?
yes.
What? Why wasn't Ye on the show too? What? I got a problem. Tell Ye that he needs to come on my show, and we're gonna have a talk, because I have been advocating for him. Those field goals that he's been doing have been clutch, and I definitely gotta give him his props for that, because
he's shy. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll let him slide this time, but next time. All right. Next.
Shout out to Indianapolis Ramblers. Every player, and especially the owners and GM, everyone out there, for giving me the chance to be in SFL. Big shout out to them. Shout out to Bread, Alex, who's big voice in here, who kind of pushed me to DM you to go on here. So thanks, it was great. And shout out, everyone, all the rookies. Shout out, we're gonna make a splash. We're gonna do great, and I'm really excited for the season. It's gonna be good.
Awesome. I love Bread, by the way. Jay?
Shout out to DC Dragons for drafting me. Make me be able to do what I can do on the field. Showcase my talent and everything else. Shout out to TJ Harper as well, and hopefully we can do something on that field. And I'm gonna say this: I am sorry that we have to play against like 3 of y'all. Yeah, I'm sorry. But shoot.
It's all good, Jay. We're gonna make sure those weeks end a little on a sour note, but we're gonna have fun.
I mean, I've never played against you, but it's a.
I love it.
I think we did play later in the season, Madison versus Annapolis. Though you beat us.
Oh, I didn't get a chance to, run you over.
Oh, Jay.
See, y'all starting already. It's going to be a very interesting season. I'm looking forward to it. John, last but definitely not least.
I'll just say, I just want to give a shout out to Fort Worth, picking me up. For other teams that didn't, that's good. You'll see what's up though. I do want to give a shout out to Lincoln Rattlesnakes down in the minor leagues. I want to give a shout out to Harper, Creech, Lakeman, Jackson, everybody else that maybe didn't get drafted. The next draft class, there's going to be some hitters in that one too. It's going to be, it's going to be good. I think with me coming in here, it's just going to be easy money, and I can't wait to hear my name and in the pro leagues now. Easy money with the catch. So,
better go ahead and.
We do play against y'all first.
Hey, easy money with the catch. That's all I'm going to hear.
Awesome, man. Awesome. But good luck to all of you. I mean, unless you play in Arizona. Good luck to all of you. And I wish y'all the best in your SFL careers. Have fun out there. Make friends, do good, and like I'm telling you, I'm here for you. What is up, SFL Nation? And welcome back to SFL Nights with A.J.Striker. Thank you so much for joining me today or tonight or whenever you decided to hit that play button or turn on that radio dial. Really appreciate it, y'all. And we're going to start this interview show off with a good friend of mine and someone that's been on the show a few times, Mr. T.J. Harper. He is one of season 20's best picks in the draft, in my opinion. How are you doing?
Hey, appreciate the opening. Yeah, we've been doing quite a few shows, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a fun off season. So, looking forward to getting out of this off season and actually seeing some games again. I know we're not too far out now, so it's just like, just kind of winding up for that. And I'm kind of really excited for that to be on a pro team. when I first joined, I didn't think that was a possibility out the gate. But so yeah, I just want to see how I stack up against everybody else. So that'll be fun.
And I get that. When you first join the league like this, it can be a little daunting. You come into a big server, over 2,000 people, and you're new to it. And like, okay, so where do I start? What do I do? So going in first, just in case anybody has missed the very first time you were on the show, and you gave like your personal information. If you wouldn't mind, just let everybody know your age, your hometown, an interesting fact, and your favorite NFL team.
So yeah, I'm 38. I'm gonna hit 40 here in a couple years. So that's kind of like a scary and thing for me because I don't feel 38. So I'm sure a lot of the older members in the league probably feel that way. So that's fun, is trying to age as gracefully as possible. I'm from Springfield, Illinois, so that's like right smack in the middle of the state. And if people are watching, I'm closer to St. Louis than Chicago. So like St. Louis is like literally maybe 80 minutes away from me. So that's kind of like where we go to go have a good time as we go down to St. Louis. So I'm married for about a decade now. I've talked about Laura quite a bit, and I've been with her for it's weird to say a decade, I'd be honest with you, because it doesn't feel like a decade. But yeah, no, that's going, fantastic. And my favorite team, I'm a Bears fan, and I know we stink right now, but that's okay. Justin Fields, I mean, just watch the highlight tapes. That's all you got to do. I mean, just watch him play and just watch his poise out there and his mentality, and like whatever that it factor is, like that dude's got it. So like now I'm just kind of waiting for the off season to watch the Bears spend 130 or 150 million dollars or whatever it is in the off season, and now potential for number 1 overall draft pick, which is insane. So
right. I mean, if you're gonna have a losing season, at least come out with something on there.
I want that big Jalen Carter kid down from Georgia, man. That dude is a freakish athlete, and we missed out on Aaron Donald when he got drafted to the Rams by 1 pick. So I'm kind of hoping this will make up for it. Indeed.
General manager got to get on his job, and hopefully he'll be making the right decisions. You know how that goes. But good stuff, man. So tell us about your experience in the SFL. And the SFLm, the minor leagues, you come in and you just get placed on a team. Like, how did that go for you?
It's weird. Because like when you first come in, you join the server, you get spit out into the welcome channel, and there's 20 different little subcategories you have to kind of like fish through, and you're trying to figure out, all right, what do I need to read? What do I not need to read? So like that first day is like super confusing for a lot of people, just like trying to figure out like, all right, well, how do I get in this? Well, you got to claim a player. Okay, where do I do that? It's not open. Oh, okay, cool. And then, but once you get past the initial part of getting settled into the league, that's pretty smooth. Once the position claims go in, you get put on a team, you literally get thrown right into a locker room. So like for me, I was thrown down in Lincoln. And I didn't get blessed and, have the most amazing season like some of these other minors. We won 2 games, and it was those 2 games we won were great. Would have loved to win more, but that's over. So, but I had a great time. Mike Hall is down there. He's kind of overseeing that. And, we had some decent coaches down there too, and some decent guys that, Lincoln got rated, so they're going to be rebuilding their team here again. New coach coming up, new probably DC, new OC, and a lot of new players. So it'll be exciting to see what they do this next season.
Indeed. Now, tell me about your draft experience. Like, I wasn't fortunate enough to get drafted in real life to go play for the Cardinals or for the Bears or for the Falcons and all that. So I'm not sure if everybody else has had that same experience, but I am curious to know what were your thoughts, like the presentation, how the night went, everything.
So like, I'm sure like with most people that I've talked to, were just like excited, man. Like that night before draft day, I've got a little side Discord server. We got a lot of the rookie class in there, so we sit and chat. You know, those guys have waited all week for that to come up, and you know, it's exciting to not only just get drafted, but like see those guys get drafted. Mm-hmm. And sitting in the green room with, you know, like Ibari and Robert Brady and everybody. I mean, everybody was in there. It was crazy. It was popping for like an hour. Like Robert Brady was having a good time. I was in there, you know, getting a little loud and, you know, not like belligerent, but we were just like hamming it up, man. It was fun. And then I kind of broke off into a little side chat Discord with 5, 6, 7, 8 guys, and it was fun to sit back. And the presentation's always fantastic. Cam does a good job with that, and the crew is always spot on. You know, I watched season 19 before I joined the league, and that's kind of what got me into it. I know Curtis was the one, I think, hosting last season for season 19, and that was super enjoyable. That was like one of my first like big events that I like tuned in for. But yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. It's, you know, it makes you feel like you're kind of going through that real televised experience. And yeah, it's all digital and, you know, make believe and stuff, but it don't feel like it. It's fun.
So your personal feelings, like, were you nervous? Were you kind of like...
No, I was not nervous at all. I was more just like, all right, where are we going? You know, like I'm ready to go. Like, I just want to see where I'm going at this point, and just like, so I can get to work. Like, I don't like anticipation. Like, it's not, I just want to get it done, move on, get going on the next thing. So I wasn't nervous. I just didn't really know where I was going. I knew it was like potential like 2, 3, 4 teams, and I didn't know how they were going to pick. And then once the trade started happening, I knew that was kind of going to throw some picks off, potential landing spots. I didn't mind actually falling to 23. I think I ended up in a really good place for that first team, and I liked Frank and Jorge and all those guys down there. And they kind of let me run free and do my thing. And, you know, right now I'm doing their DOC stuff for all their Twitter and media and graphics and stuff right now. So get to play with that too, which is fun because I get to kind of bring a little attitude down to Flexenville with those guys too. And he doesn't interject. He just lets me do it. So I like that. Just get out of my way. Let me do my thing, and I will do it to the best of my ability. And I'll never, you know, I won't cross any lines or say anything that will, like, you'll end up regretting a decision like that. But I'll have some fun with it, you know.
And that is testament to Frank and Jacksonville Kings. Everybody who doesn't know, but. You know, as long as you to show that you want to be involved, you know, you want to help the team, because that was going to be my next question to you. If you were going to be involved with the team, with Jacksonville, and in the other capacity besides being a player, and you already put on that, you know, that hat, the director of communications. So, you know, that's an important job, because you know, Cam looks at the activity that we do on Twitter during game day. Where are you posting to advertise your game? Are you posting 30 minutes in between? I think it's like 30 minutes prior, or 5 minutes. I think it's between 30 and 5 minutes prior to your game starting. Things of that nature to show how engulfed you really are, you know? So I already knew that whoever picks you up was going to have, you know, one of the cream of the crop individuals, because of how you've always put yourself out there. You know, anybody that wanted you on the show, anybody that needed your help, you know, you were there. Even if it was a situation to where you wanted you needed something or they needed something from you, you were always there to provide it, even if it's just a conversation. I see you in chat all the time, you know. And
it's actually, it's funny as I hounded Frank about it. I was like, Frank, let me do this, man. It doesn't look like you have anybody. I got a lot of fun ideas. You've seen my Twitter. I'll kind of keep it in that same vein. And then him and Jorge were like, all right, cool. Just do it. And, I like that. I like that Frank's like, the only reason I gave it to you is because you wanted it, not because I was handing out titles. Like, you came to me. And I'm just like, I'm old school. I try not, man, I hate to say this, but I am kind of old school, man. I like to call people on the phone. I like to shake hands. I like to, be the neighbor that shows up with a plate of food to the new neighbors, like all that stuff that people don't do as much these days, like showing up and helping out and giving a hand. Like, that's just how I was raised. So that's just the way the brain works. So, I don't do it because I want anything in return. That's always, it's nice to get stuff in return, but that's not why I do it. I just do it because it's fun for me, man. I like helping, and people seem to find me kind of entertaining, so I just keep doing it.
Indeed, I must agree. Now, will your wife be joining the league at some point? I think I may have asked you this before.
I don't know, man. We've talked about it, and she's kind of got her mindset like an offensive lineman. So really? She wants to play like center. So like 6'6", like 330, like massive, just like freak. I was like, man, if you did that, you would definitely get drafted.
Quick. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I don't know. She wouldn't be active like I am. You know what I mean? Like, but she'd be around. She watches games and she watches some of the podcasts and she watches the draft and stuff like that. So like, I think that's how some of these guys got their wives involved, or the wives got the husbands involved. Like, hey, watch this with me, honey. And then after a while, they're like, all right, this is kind of cool. So I don't know, maybe, probably, maybe another
Laura?
season or two. Yeah, her name's Laura. Yeah,
Laura, if you're watching this, come on out here, girl. You make a difference. You need some. Oh, definitely need old linemen. So if that is that's in your heart, I definitely encourage you to just at least give it a season. Just try it out. But I guarantee you, it'll bring you guys closer together. Definitely, we all can watch the games together and actually hear your name called, because the broadcasters are doing a better job of giving old linemen recognition. Unfortunately, the stats can't be tracked for them as of right now. I'm not sure if they ever could, but at least they're doing a better job of just letting people know, hey, this quarterback is protected because the O-line is there, pancaking or providing those blocks, things like that. So love to see you, Laura. But so what advice would you have for anybody that's joining the league and they want to create their player and they want to, just get involved? What would you say to them?
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And I know there's, we got a good mix of introverts and extroverts and everything else in between. But I think just getting yourself out there and getting active and just, even if you don't have that much time to give up during the week, like I know some people probably spend a lot more time than others. Some people, put in 20, 30 hours in coaching and stuff like that. Hey, if you don't got that much time, that's fine. If you only got an hour a week, just whatever you do for that hour, just make it very effective. And how you spend that hour here, help out your teammates that you got on your team. Because I promise you, like, people watch that and they don't forget stuff like that. Get out in the chat, even if you don't have anything to offer, like skills wise, just be helpful and friendly and, chat it up out there, man. Just, the community first and foremost. The football's kind of, that's a big deal too, but just being able to hang out with all these people from all over the world, I think some of the coolest elements of the league here. And you're not going to get to experience all that if you don't post and don't put yourself out there. And, there's like, I've heard from you many times when I joined, like, hey, you guys want to be on the show? Hit me up. Send me a DM. I'll have you on the show. Like, hey man, if you want to do it, she'll have you. She got time. She will have you on the show, so you can get yourself out there and make some new friends and have a good time while you're here.
Exactly. And if it's a situation to where you're kind of camera shy, I mean, I work with that too. Fun fact, I've actually done interviews with people that I recorded the questions for them and I sent it to them. They recorded it in whatever country they were in. And then I actually had to splice things together. You know, that's why I recorded. I'm an editor. So like, I don't mind doing that. So just don't be apprehensive about it, because it is just like having a conversation with a friend. A lot of times when people come on, they say it's a very comfortable thing. Like me and TJ, we were talking for a good maybe 20-30 minutes before we even started recording. Yeah. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. But tell me about your player build. What position did you select? Did you actually want to play that position? And who's responsible for the progressions? Is it just you? Was it you and the coach? Or was it just the coach kind of telling you what to do and you just went along with it? Like, how did that go?
So outside linebacker, and that was the only position that I had my heart set on. Like, I've done leagues like this before, and it's always linebacker. Like, I don't play anything else. I don't play CB, quarterback, none of that. It's like, that's just what I grew up enjoying, grew up watching all the greats at middle linebacker over the years. Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Zach Thomas, like all those big personalities and big just beasts for their teams for a decade plus. And so that was like the easy choice. For the build though, like that's pretty much me. Like I had Doug Day though in my ear pretty often early on, and Doug helped me out a lot. And there's a lot of owners too that I messaged to, because like I wanted to see like basically how does everybody else see things, and then I just kind of took notes and just kind of that's what I used in my build. So I just basically it's an old school min max build. Like I didn't spread points around. It's in like 5 categories and that's it. So this season, like, it's going to be all pass coverage, and that's going to be slow and boring now that I'm out of that easy gains now. So it's +2 every week. And so that's what's going to be going on this season. Indeed.
And, before you know it, you'll look up and, you'll have those progressions. I mean, the attributes that you need. I would always say concentrate on your attributes first. And then you can add the gold, the glitter, the high value or the low value animations, because you want your core to be a good foundation, so don't worry, those weeks, wait till you get gold. I mean, I probably progressed maybe like 3 times all season.
Yeah, because the first progression's save progression? Like that's the only move you can make? Yeah.
Like for about 5 weeks, I'm just saving. But to be fair, my player, I've been in the league for 8 seasons now. Ooh, wow. And
a long time.
It has been. It is. And she's pretty maxed out, and definitely in the areas that I need to be. So now all I do is either add animations or I just work on the little attributes that I might need down, like speed, or stuff like that. But yeah, so eventually you get to a point to where you're just kind of coasting and relaxing and just watching everything play out, so that's good. But what is something that you think that the league can improve on, if anything? And that could be regards to anything. So that can be from the SFLm department, that can be from the major league department, any other aspect.
Man, that is such a tough, loaded question. Okay. So for me personally,
yeah,
I've asked this question to the deputy commissioner before, but I'm looking forward to the point down the road, it could be years from now, but where we move away from all pro football into something a little bit more, modern, with the graphics and presentation and stuff like that. I'm happy with it though, but I'm happy with the overall direction of the league. I like the 2 seasons a year. I like the way that's all structured out. I like the flow of the SFLm, kind of how that goes, and they kind of get fed down into teams that are coached by other coaches from pro teams. I know this has been talked about before too, but like I would just like to see owners and coaches get like a view only down there at least, so they can see the that minors chat. That's been talked ad nauseum though. Like so many people have talked about that. Like that needs to happen like now. Let's stop talking about it. We'll just make it happen. Because some of the, some of those people they'll just stay down there and chat just because that's where like the activity's at. That's where their teammates are at, and they won't come up to general. So like, if you can't see them down there and you're not coaching a team with them, it's kind of hard to see what they're about, and be able to form opinions and thoughts about all these guys and personalities. So, really, that's it, man. I like the way everything's going. Just those 2 things.
Especially when it comes to certain teams having people down there, so they kind of get that firsthand knowledge. Whether they're coaching, or whether they, just involved in the SFLm. On different levels, they get a chance to take that information and go back to their teams with it, and I think for those teams that don't have a representative down there, I believe that those should get the read only access, because it is important, because not all rookies are going to come over to general chat and have a conversation. Maybe they're a little bit apprehensive. I know when I first started, I was looking at everything like big glitz and glamour, like, oh my gosh, they're owners, why would they want to talk to me? But then I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to talk to everybody, so everybody's not like that. We have a lot of introverts, and so if they are talking comfortably in a place, where they feel comfortable, not saying we got to look into the locker rooms or anything, I think that's a little bit intrusive, but the general chats that happen, that occur, you just want to get a feel for what you are getting into, so hopefully that will change at some point though. It is getting late, so I'm not going to hold you for too much longer, but I wanted to know from you, hey, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask me about anything?
I kind of wish I had something prepared now. I was thinking about this before we hopped on earlier. Now I'm like drawing a blanket right now. I was gonna say I don't really have. I always kind of asked all the questions I wanted to ask from you. I really just wanted to ask how was your holidays and how'd you guys spend it, and anything special or not special? It's all good. I was just curious.
Oh man, well, we don't celebrate Christmas and things like that. So my holiday was spent just relaxing, kind of recuperating, from working, and just kind of just being on the go all the time. And made some porterhouse steaks, onions and mushrooms. Oh my gosh, so delicious. Like we literally I took the rest of it and just cut it up and made some fajitas, for us. But just really spending time with the children. They got a few gifts from, their grandmother and things like that. So, just spend time just really connecting with them and just trying to rest up, that made me so happy. I meant to ask you, how was your holiday? What did you do?
It's funny. I have like my own holiday for Thanksgiving. It's called like Timsgiving. So like I don't celebrate Thanksgiving traditionally. So I usually just like do wings out on the grill and just like keep it low key. And Christmas, I didn't do anything too crazy. We did they did the multiple family stuff. My family is very far away and moved away, but her family's all close. So a lot of the stuff we do is with them. And They had multiple Christmases, and Christmas Day though was nice. We just got to chill at home and watch, Christmas movies and cook and kind of relax, because like even if you don't celebrate Christmas, just being around, that last week, all the businesses and people just traffic everywhere, like everything's just like a pain.
Indeed.
So like just trying to go do a grocery run that last week of Christmas is not fun. So like, getting that rest in, and right now kids are out of school in most places, so get to spend a little extra time. They get to spend extra time with their friends, and it's good, man. Older I get, I feel like the less I do, to be honest. So I just try to keep it as low key as possible. And and other people, they have some big families. I don't have that, so I don't have to worry about making all those little special trips everywhere. So
listen, save money on gas and gifts.
amen to that. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time, and I hope everybody that's watching this had a good time too. But did you have any more questions for me?
No, but I'm gonna come with the list next time, so this doesn't happen again. I was like, you know what? We need to have a show where I just ask you questions, just flip it on it for an hour.
Oh, honey, trying to figure out when was the last time I did something like that.
Like a little community show. Ask Ashley questions.
No, because most people want me to go live, and I admire everybody else with the live feeds and doing all of that, but hey, I'm not as savvy live. I might stream, but like video games, but like I'm not really techno savvy going live, because I like to have my music in the background, and I know that you can do that with OBS, but like I just like to have things to flow a certain way. And when it's that uncertainty about, are we going to come through clear? And I got to rely on the community to tell me little things like that, maybe.
Well, hey, I was on Eddie's shows last week, and Eddie's show just so
right.
That's what happens, with live shows, and it happens with league games too. Yeah, yes. Yours is smart because you don't have to worry about failing.
Yeah, but then there's the times where some of the graphics didn't get out the way fast enough, or I might just forget to turn the music down on this particular section. And I remember one time when I was just doing audio only, there was a point where I pushed the pause button when I was talking.
Oh no.
And it was like an hour show that was just silence.
Like, I'm never getting that time back. That's over with.
I had to do it over because a good friend of mine, Damon Simmons, he is the owner of the Houston Hyenas, came to me and said, Ashley, so I listened to your show and I didn't hear anything. I was like, what do you mean? I just had all this. Did you listen to the playback of your show? I was like, no, just go listen to it. When I tell you I was so embarrassed, I was like, oh my God. So I literally took it down and had to do everything over again. But but like I said, it happens.
It happens. That's life.
Indeed, man. But thank you for your time. I really appreciate you sharing your experience with us. Oh, there's one more question that I asked everybody else I didn't ask you.
Yeah, what's up?
Perfect pizza. What is your crust? What is your toppings? What is your sauce?
Perfect crust. I kind of like that old school, like hand tossed tavern style.
Yeah.
Kind of like more on the thin side.
Okay.
I kind of like a sweeter marinara sauce. I like the toppings underneath the cheese instead of on top.
Okay.
So I know like some Italian places do that, and pizza chains don't. They throw everything on top. I like it under the cheese. It's more fun. Really good quality sausage, and then maybe like if I want to like, green onion, green olives. Let's do green olives. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I've heard green olives. I've heard black olives. But green olives, I think you're the first person to mention that one.
Yeah. I like that salty, bitter, cheesy, savory, like all in one bite. It's crazy umami going on. So
love it. I love it. So I'm curious to know how many people are actually going to side with you on that, or how many people are going to be in your DMs like, you don't know pizza.
Dude, you know how many people don't like olives? That's insane to me. There's so many people, and they especially don't like green olives.
You know, so. I used to be one of those people, but then my taste buds changed to where I actually started working at an Italian restaurant, and they would use olives in like tapenades and things like that. So when I tried it, I was like, you know, this not have bad. And then next thing you know, I bought a jar of olives with little pimentos in it and just trying to pop those in salads and got my children into it now. And, you know, children are kind of funny when it comes to certain things, but these two enjoy olives. I'm like, oh, okay.
Especially when you get those fancy ones stuffed with like cheese and stuff. Oh.
Favorite. Okay, I'm going to let you go, I promise. But my favorite is when the bartenders, of course, they make their martinis, right? And they would take the olive and stuff it with blue cheese. Oh, done. Like I would literally say, yo, can I help you make some? That's how I do it. Can I help you make some? So one goes in the jar, one goes in my mouth. One goes in the jar. Hey, what's taking olives so long? I have to check the quality.
It's so rich too, like blue cheese and olive is such a weird combo too.
Oh, but it's delicious, and I don't know why. It's just this. So.
It just is.
But TJ, this has been fun. I really enjoy having you every time you have time for me. I'm really appreciative. Hopefully, you know, Laura can join you next time. We can all have a nice sit down together and talk and things like that. But you know, you're welcome on the show anytime you want to come on, man.
I'm gonna put a bug in her. I appreciate it.
Anytime, but I can't let you go without giving you the last word. So that can be a song, that can be a poem, or just a simple shout out. TJ, the floor is yours.
No, I don't even want to use it. I just want to leave it open. Everything's going good right now. The season's getting ready to start. So just shout out to you. Thanks for having us, and thanks for putting us out for all these rookies. I'm sure they appreciated it. So looking forward to watching those interviews later on.
Hey, anytime, man. You know, my door is always open to any and everybody that wants to be here. So have a good one, brother. I see you on the field. Good luck this season.
See you on the field. Thank you.
Of course, you know, if you play Arizona, just not as good luck, but you know. Bye, TJ.
Bye.
I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this show. Hopefully you learned a lot. I am grateful to bring it to you once again. And I am looking forward to bringing you another great podcast next week, y'all. But until then, you stay safe, treat each other well. And for Max, for John, Jay, Nano, J.W. Striker, we're out.